put your belief in Jesus, if you have staked your very life on Jesus, and on the fact that Jesus paid the price for you, substitution is what we call that, if you've acknowledged your sin and confessed Jesus as Lord based on Scripture, I'm going to say you are indeed a child of God. If you haven't done that, friends, listen to me. If you've never done that, you're not. I don't care how long you've been coming to this church or any other church in town. I don't care. If you haven't made that simple confession of faith and staked your life on what he said, you're not saved. But you can be. I'm telling you, today might be your day. The good news of the gospel is that Christ died for you. And if you were the only one alive, he would have done it for you. He loves you that much. No matter what your past is. No. No matter who your parents are. No matter who you hobnob around with, if it's the mayor or the police chief, doesn't matter. He's willing to be your friend. Are you willing to be his? Verse 7. You know what? Verse 6. The divine, the human and the divine has got to be there, and I got to acknowledge it, otherwise I'm not being faithful to the Scripture in my mind. Christ takes something very human, spit, very, very human, mixes it into very, very human, and then with his hands, divine, human, yes, but divine, mixes the human and the divine together, you see, and the divine touch goes on the man's eyes. It's the mix of the human and the divine. So that I say it's a partnership. This is the way I've seen it. There's a partnership. We don't really have a thing to do with our own salvation, but God holds us responsible for our own salvation. We have to make a decision to follow Jesus. And it's as simple as that, and it's as plain as that. And if we do, on the authority of Scripture, I can promise you, you will be saved. That's what Paul said. That's what Jesus promised. It's a mixture of the human and the divine. Verse 7, go, Jesus told him, wash in the pool of Siloam. And John adds a little parenthetical comment. He says this word means sent. So the man went and washed and came home seeing. So what we see in that verse is that the one who was sent tells the man to go to the place named sent. And the one who was sent says, wash the mud off in the pool of sent. And then we read, and that concludes this story, the man went and washed and came home seeing. The man was obedient. We see this all in the Gospels. Did Jesus require the man to be obedient? If the guy wouldn't have done it, would Jesus have healed him? I don't know. We don't know the story. But we do know that the man went and did it. Christ told him to do it. He did it. What was the result? He was healed. The man with the withered hand in Matthew. Christ says, stretch out your hand. And the man did it, and the man was healed. What would have happened if the man wouldn't have done it? I don't know. You see, there's an element of faith involved in a simple thing like go and wash this mud off your face and you're going to see. That sounds so preposterous. That sounds ridiculous. How can that possibly be? This guy spits, makes a little bit of mud, puts it on my eyes, and expects me now to go down and wash? And if I do it, I'm going to see? Doesn't he realize I've been sitting here for 30 years? I'm a beggar. I'm nothing but a beggar. Listen, friends, we're all beggars. We're all nothing but beggars. I'm just one beggar passing along to another beggar. That's all we are. That's all we are. We're nothing more than that. And this beggar in the story, sitting on the road, and here's Jesus. Now we know who Jesus is, but he doesn't know. Tell him, go wash your eyes off over in that pool. Now struggle to get over there. Maybe somebody will help you find it. Poor chump. But the poor chump goes and does it, just as he was told. And he sees. Now listen, what about you this morning? What about where you are this morning? Has God somehow ministered to you? Has God told you, do you have within your spirit something that you know you should do or give up or be? it down. You got to be like the blind guy in the story, who when the master says, give it up, change, go here, do that, you don't question. But by faith, for once in your life, by faith, you say, as preposterous as it sounds, I am going to act for once. And I'm going to do it today. And the man came home, seeing. Can you be delivered from what's gripped you so tightly for all these years? Yes. But you've got to act. Can that change that you know needs to happen really take place in your life? Yes, but you've got to be obedient. If you've never been obedient before, I want you to follow Christ today. If he's called you to give up, or to move, or to act, or to be, or to do, and you know it clearly, then do it today. And friends, if you don't know Christ, I invite you now to come, just give yourself to him. We're going to take our offering now. It seems a little odd to put the offering in right here, but you know it's an act of worship, and we're going to do it as worship. Let me be very clear here. If you're a guest this morning, keep your hands in your pockets. We are not looking for your money. What we want is a few good men, not your money. That's for us that regularly live and give here and attend here. That's for us. That's not for anyone else. Christ wants to deliver you. Jesus wants to deliver you.